Hello my strong friends. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm not really going to be talking about lifting at all. Well, sort of. As the title suggests, this video is going to talk about sponsorships, how to get sponsored, what a sponsorship means, and this is all going to be from my experience. I'm sure there are people who have had better or worse experiences than I have, so we'll just get right into it. I think it is very important to understand what qualifies someone to be sponsored. To get sponsored, your entity has to be, I think, one of three sort of categories. One, you could be a very important person, a VIP for lack of a better term. You could be Kim Kardashian, you're in the public eye, you're getting sponsored. Or to niche it down and to make it maybe a little bit more relevant for people watching my channel, you could be a really good power lifter or weightlifter or any type of person, and you're in the public eye and that people are watching you, maybe not even so much train, people are watching you compete. I probably post a lot more training videos than someone like Ray Williams, but Ray Williams is amazing and has way more eyes on him during competition. For example, I know his last competition squat video ended up getting millions of views, and probably is one of the most viewed videos or like competition videos like to ever have existed in the world. And his social media influence, which is what I'll talk about next, may not be as big as mine, but he is in the public eye. A lot of people are watching him compete, so it would make sense for companies to sponsor him for that chance that, okay, maybe we're not paying him to post on social media all the time as you would a social media influencer, which is like the second tier that I'll talk about, but a very important person or like a really great athlete who has a lot of influence by just being themselves, maybe not creating content themselves. So your first category, and I know I mentioned social media influencer, which I'll talk about next, your first category is to be like a very important person. Be like very awesome at the thing you do. You know, LeBron James, I don't know anything about his contract, but I'm sure he's not obligated by Nike to post on his Instagram a couple times a month. Next is a social media influencer. That's me. That's what I do. I know social media influencer, to call yourself that is kind of like maybe annoying. Maybe people think that that's a pretentious term, but I guess it's less pretentious than explaining to people, oh, I have 165,000 people watching me on Instagram. A social media influencer can be anyone who just has a little bit of influence. Engagement is always very important. You can't just look at the number of how many people are following. You have to also look at the actual engagement. Are people really engaged? Are people liking the post? Are people commenting down below? So that's all stuff that brands take into consideration. And you can also have an audience, maybe a lot of people watching, and I'm sure you watch YouTube videos of someone that you're just so, they're cringy, right? Like, there's people, even I do it, like there's people that I hate watch on YouTube, and I'm sure there's someone hate watching me right now, and that's okay. You know, you don't have to always have like millions and millions of people watching. If you find yourself with like a 5,000 person, like 5,000 followers on Instagram, it's important that you understand that that still can be powerful. I would like to say that the higher the numbers and the more numbers you have there's a correlation between the quality in content or the likability of a person or the just, you know, entertainment factor that goes along with being successful. If you ever find that at like 5,000 Instagram followers or like 10,000 YouTube subscribers, brands are reaching out, it's probably because they are interested. And when you have that smaller number, why am I doing that? When you have a smaller number, usually your audience does feel a little bit more connected. Don't lose hope if you don't have 100,000 people watching. It probably is possible to gain some of these things that I'm going to talk about after. Sponsorships are also available to people who don't even have social media followings. You could just be an influencer. You can have influence in small communities. Let's say you own a gym, or you're a bikini competitor at a gym, or you're just like some coach or anything, and you have some sort of influence, you have something valuable to offer people in your local community, it still is possible to gain some sort of sponsorship. That could just mean free product. I know a couple people who either gyms will sponsor them because they are promoting the gym at local competitions, and in that sponsorship, typically gyms will pay for their entry fees to go to competitions, or they'll waive their gym membership. So those are also possible if you talk to gyms or maybe local companies like food prep companies. I know a lot of times will sponsor local athletes. For the sake of this video though, we will probably talk most about social media influence because that's what I'm doing, have done, doing right now. Am I influencing you? So we're gonna talk about my experience, and I could tell you all about how to gain social media influence and how to do it, how I've done it. You have to create content. Content can mean anything. You could just be posting hot pictures of yourself. A lot of people do that and are very successful doing that. To create content, I tried to break down into 3 different categories. You need to be you can be either or all of these. I like to think that I'm very poorly all of these at once. You can either be entertaining. 2, you can be aspirational. You could be a bikini competitor and have a really aspirational physique, or just a bodybuilder in general. I don't know why I'm always saying bikini competitor. The 3rd thing is you can be valuable. You can be just a valuable resource. You can be like a coach to people. So that's like my pared down way of figuring out, like, how can I make this work? How can I get people to watch me? I think you really do have to be one or all of those things. I guess you could be 2 of those things, but I think the best way to do it is to have a good mix of all 3. Now, in my case, you know, I have always been the type of person who, like, I'm pretty good at most things. I'm not, like, amazing at one thing. I'm a jack of all trades, but, like, master of none. I find that a good mix of all 3 makes it so that I, you know, am getting my shit together. People are watching. I think that's what's made me most successful, is the fact that maybe I can be funny sometimes. I have an improv background that supports that, so I've acted in the past. This just doesn't appear out of nowhere, you know, I've like honed that skill. Aspirational, maybe, okay, I'm not DLB and I'm not like Bonica Lau lifting the most weight of all people, but I have like some sort of, I'm stronger than most people. So that's how you gain influence. Those 3 things, if you do that, that's great, but those are not valuable unless you niche down. You gotta figure out what's your one thing. Like, what's the one thing that you focus on, that you can, the world that you can live in, to where you are entertaining, aspirational, and valuable, but people, it's relevant to a certain group of people so that they want to watch. Okay, now that I've given you way too much information and spent way too long talking about how to gain influence, I want to talk now about the different types of sponsorships that you can get. Already alluded to some. You can get free product, especially maybe you don't have that much influence. That's okay. You can still get stuff. You can still help a company too. There's a couple different ways to get a sponsorship. Now, when I first started, there were a few times where I was like, oh, I'm sponsored, and all I had was an affiliate deal. I'm gonna start from like the best thing that you want. Probably there's something better than what I have though, because I don't have that much influence. But the best deal for you is to have a full sponsorship. You get a monthly salary. A company loves you, they love what you're doing, you're making them some money, they can tell, and they pay you monthly. They give you paper every month. That's a full sponsorship, what I consider like an actual real sponsorship. That's the thing though, it's not even really a sponsorship. Like, a real sponsorship is what LeBron James has. He just like wears Nike shoes. Or Ray Williams just wears SBD singlet. He's not like required to do stuff. Whereas I would say I more so have a job because, and I'm sure like there are other things required of my 2 examples, Ray Williams in LeBron James. I'm sure there are more things that are required of them, not just to wear the stuff. I'm sure they have like photo shoots that they need to do. I'm sure they have stuff to do, but from the outside looking in, it seems as though they have a better deal, right? They just like wear stuff. They don't have to. What I do is I exchange social media inventory for money. And I do that because like I'm broke as fuck. I do that to make money because I need it if I want to keep talking to you guys on YouTube. So there are full sponsorships where you're getting monthly salary, and then there are other sponsorships where it's like, hey, do one post for us and we'll give you this flat rate. I would always suggest, always ask for the flat rate, because the next thing that, like the next kind of sponsorship is an affiliate deal. Just as a note, when I first started, I got approached by a few companies to be sponsored, and really it was just an affiliate deal, which is not bad, but I didn't have enough influence for it to actually be worth it for me. So I would recommend people to, unless it like totally makes sense for you, to be talking about this all the time, like unless it's like super relevant and add something to your channel. For me, I feel like my relationships add something that either I can't offer or something that I'm going to talk about regardless of if this company is supporting me or not. For instance, I would tell people about what supplements I use in my videos just because I use them every day. So I'm already going to talk about it. Why wouldn't I partner with a company who can make it so that I'm able to make more videos and able to provide more value? If, you know, if they can help me do that, then why wouldn't I? The lowest tier is oftentimes when you're first getting started, people will just say like, hey, I'll give you this free stuff if you post about it. Now, I told you how I feel about being an athlete and being sponsored. Now, I want to tell you about the other end of it. I sponsor somebody. Did you know that? No, not me, but my company that I'm the only owner of, Strong Friends, sponsors an athlete. What does that mean? Why do you do it? Tell me about it. What does it mean? Okay. The type of person that I sponsor is what I would call a public figure or a VIP. Bonica Lau is my only sponsored athlete. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I sponsor her, and maybe this can give you an idea of what you can do or how you can approach brands to make it make sense. Now, I reached out to her. I wasn't planning on sponsoring anyone, but I was keeping an eye on what she's doing, and I was like following her on all the social media platforms already just because I'm a fan of hers, and she has aspirational goals, like things that I aspire to follow, and she's amazing. If you don't already know her, she is an amazing powerlifter. She competes in both raw and equipped powerlifting, and she has won the world championship like I think 4 times in a row, and she's competing at Worlds, but she is also one of the best. So she is one of the best, and if you're one of the best at what you do, then it might be easier for you to gain sponsorships. Now, it is hard to do that, and I will tell you, I didn't just sponsor her because she's the best. I sponsored her because she represents what my company stands for, and what my company stands for is powerlifting and approaching it in a friendly way and bringing this new energy that is positive, that is bubbly, and it's still getting really fucking strong, but not being an asshole, and being inclusive of everyone in the gym, and promoting the sport of powerlifting through just being a nice person and having fun with lifting. And I feel like Bonica really merges together this idea of an elite, one of the best in the world powerlifters with this energy that my company stands for. So it wasn't just because she's amazing. It was because she stands for the things that my brand represents and the vision that I have. So, like how I want the world to change. You know, it's like fucking deep, right? So it's not a decision based on just social media influence. It's a decision based on the brand and who aligns with it. People want to help you and people want to create partnerships and work with you. It's all about how you approach them. It's all about what you can offer. It's all about your influence. It doesn't have to be a huge influence. You can do it. Okay, that's my video. I just talked so much. I hope I can edit it to make it somewhat reasonable in watching. As I mentioned, I do sponsor an athlete. We're helping her get to Worlds, and in doing that, like I said, I'm a broke bitch too. In doing that, we are trying to raise more funds to help her get there and go to future competitions and continue to bring home championships for the US of A. We're selling Bubbly Powerlifter shirts. They have Bubbly Powerlifter. This is Bonika's Instagram name and moniker, as you may know. And on the back, the logo, oh shit, can you see it? On the back, boom! These have been on sale all week. Hopefully you've seen them if you're subscribed to the BFF list, or if you follow me on Instagram. You've already bought yours, but if you haven't, the sale closes on Friday night, like at midnight. It is pre-order. We're just trying to raise some money to send Bonika to Worlds. Continue to send. Like I said, my sponsorships ain't paying me that much, you know what I'm saying? So check those out if you want to support an athlete. If you thought this video was helpful, make sure you give it a like. Share it with your homegirls who are looking to be famous on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I am done. I am so tired of talking. If you have any more questions that are similar to stuff like this, not sure if, well, we'll see if you like it or not. I mean, I feel like people are always interested in learning how this whole world works. If you're like a social media influencer, or if you're looking to be one and gain some influence or gain some money, if you're a coach and you're looking to make some money, bring your business online, I don't know what it's not usually discussed on this channel. But if you have any like specific questions, I'll be in the comments down below and I'll try to answer as many as possible. But if you have any like specific like other shit that you want to know, you can email me. You can email me, meg@strongfriends.com, and I'll get back to you. Okay. Check out my sponsors, Renaissance Periodization and My Protein. #ad. Don't forget to #ad all your ads if you're getting money for it.